Assalamu alaikum. This part of the lecture is related to rules for regular plural nouns and simple present tense. As you know that regular plural nouns and simple present tense, they both end in s or es. Okay, first of all, let's have our look that what do we mean by regular and irregular nouns. If we see regular plural nouns, these are the nouns which are simply made by adding s or es to the singular noun. For example, if the noun is bus, we add es to make it plural. If the verb is noun is bush, we add es to make it plural. Similarly, chair and clip, they take s. So this is a very regular pattern of adding s or es to make the regular plural nouns. But there are certain nouns which are irregular in their plural form, and they don't take any regular pattern. They don't take the addition of s or es. So simply what happens that there is a totally new word and a new spelling that comes as a plural of that noun. For example, teeth. It is plural of tooth, women, woman. Mice is the plural of mouse, and deer is the singular form as well and plural form. In both the forms, these are the same. So this is the difference between regular and irregular nouns. The rule we are going to deal is for regular plural nouns and simple present form of the verbs. So depending on the last sound of the singular noun and first form of the verb, if we are talking about noun, then the last sound of the singular noun, and if we are talking about the verb, then first form of the verb and its last sound. In both the cases, we have to see the last sound. Okay, so the final s or es is pronounced in three different ways. Let's see how. According to first rule, what happens that if a singular noun or v1 here means first form of the verb, ends in a voiceless sound. Voiceless means in which vocal cords do not vibrate. So if it ends in f, p, t, and some more voiceless sounds, so s or es is pronounced as s. Okay, let's see examples to understand the rules. This rule. This is the column for nouns, and this is the column for verbs. In nouns, you can see that pipe is singular, pine, ending in p, sack, k, t, and f. They all are voiceless sounds. Okay, so when s is added, in spelling we simply see this s. But actually what happens that in pronunciation, this s has a total different sound depending upon the previous sound, depending upon the sound that comes before. Okay, so that is pipes. So there is voiceless sound before this s. S. There is voiceless ka before this s. There is voiceless ta. So this will be pronounced as sa. Similarly, in these examples as well, there is voiceless sound at the end, and because of this voiceless sound, this voiceless p, k, t, and f, what happens is this s would become s, stops, works, fits, laughs. Okay, this is rule number one. The rule number two is that when the first form of the verb or singular noun ends in a voiced sound, these are some of the voiced sounds, and voiced sounds are those in which vocal cords vibrate. So this s or es is pronounced as z. You would have would have been pronouncing it the same way, but you wouldn't know the rule before that. Okay, again, this is the column of noun and this is the column of verbs. So, bulb, this is voiced, card, d, voiced, bag, voiced, v, voiced, e, voiced, l, voiced. Again, we have added s to all these, but what happens that when we pronounce them, they're pronounced as z. Bulbs, cards, bags, waves, trees, tables. Similarly, in all these verbs, in the first form, just before S you see, the first form is actually voiced. So it will become grabs, grades, gags, lives, cares. Here we have a diphthong air, and this is a diphthong o, go, and all the vowels, pure vowels, nophthong, diphthong, triphthongs, these all are voiced. So that's why when you pronounce them, they all, this s would be pronounced as z. So grabs, bulbs, goes. Okay, rule number three. Rule number three says that if singular noun or first form of the verb, v1 means first form of the verb, ends in a sibilant consonant, have discussed this before in the beginning lectures, and I will give you the recap of sibilant again here. This S or ES is pronounced as is. Okay, let's see how. So first of all, we see that what is a sibilant sound. Sibilant is a consonant actually, and what happens that the tip or blade is a portion of the tongue that is just behind the tip of the tongue is brought near the roof of the mouth. Fine, the top of your mouth. When you pronounce these sounds, see, so you can easily feel a buzz. You can easily feel hissing. So what happens that when the tongue is pressed inside the mouth and the air is allowed to go around the teeth, so these sounds are produced, and the hissing is just like this. Hissing means sound of a snake. So when you say z, sh, zh, ch, these all are sibilant. So you can feel the buzz, you can feel the hissing. That is why these are called sibilant. So this rule number 3 is for the sibilant sound, that if singular noun or V1 ends in a sibilant consonant, what happens? That S or ES will be pronounced as is. Okay. Now look at this. Sh, j, ch. Okay. So from the word class, we make plural and it is classes. From the word brush, we make plural and it becomes brushes. Brush is. Badge is. So in flow it is pronounced as badges. Watch, watches. Okay, similarly come to the column of verb. Hiss is the verb, can be used as verb. So when you make it simple present es ending, hisses, crushes, grudges, stitches. So these are the example of sibilant sound. So this is also one of the area of phonology in which the neighboring sound they have impact on each other, and because of the previous sound, this final s or es can be pronounced as sir, can be pronounced as z, and can be pronounced as is, depending upon that which sound is there before this s or es. So this was all about the rules related to simple present tense and regular form plural forms of the noun, because they both end in s or es. Thank you so much.